Hello, my name is Bhagwan Chowdhry. Always begin your pitch with a simple hello and a smile. Stand firmly, wear comfortable clothes, preferably a shirt. If you must wear a t-shirt, your company logo should be on it. Project your voice. Do not shout. Make eye contact. Be confident. The audience should develop some trust with you before they can proceed. Pitch is a story. It's not a slide presentation. Pitch should evoke curiosity, emotions, and most important, empathy. Use pauses for dramatic effect. Just like a prime minister. When he goes, he would say, "Mitron," there he would pause. "Aaj raat ko 12 baje." Everybody's waiting. What is he going to say next? He uses pauses for that dramatic effect. Pauses are very important for drama and also for your audience to absorb what you have already said. So how long should your pitch be? I would say make a pitch 30 seconds long, 3 minutes long, 5 minutes long, and 10 minutes long. So have various versions because you never know when you will get a chance to pitch and where. Sometimes you meet somebody in the elevator and all you will have is 30 seconds. Another time you would have room full of people and you may have 10 minutes. So make several versions, but remember, they never should be longer than 10 minutes. Your slides should have minimal text. Do not make it busy. People cannot read your slides and listen to you at the same time. Use images, but images should be there to evoke an emotion. You should start with a catchy tagline. One time I wanted to teach the benefits of compounding and how giving it a lot of time, compounding allows your money to grow exponentially. So I could have called it benefits of compounding over long periods of time. But no, that's boring. That's not interesting. Instead, I gave it a catchy tagline. Why are vampires rich? Why? Because vampires live for a long time. And if they start saving early, with compounding, their money grows a lot. Now that's a much more interesting story, and the tagline is short and catchy, and it raises curiosity. Explaining what the problem your startup is solving is probably the most important part of your pitch. Make sure people connect to your story emotionally. Don't give statistical facts to generate empathy. Instead of saying it is estimated that 49% of the women face sexual harassment, you could say, in this room of 60 women, 30 of you have probably faced sexual harassment. You see, you personalized the problem. You said you have faced. 30 out of 60 gives a quantitative benchmark instead of a boring statistic like 49%. The next important part is, what is your solution? It should be compelling and it should be clear how the different pieces fit together. You should be able to say that you have done initial testing. You should be able to demonstrate that you have obtained customer feedback. If you can show pictures of your product, that's great. But make sure the pictures are not too busy. If you need to show several, show it in several pictures, one at a time. You could show a video as well, but make sure the video is short and to the point. Especially if you have customer testimonials, it should not be a long story. It should say simply, I used the product and how I benefited from it. And if you can demo the product live, that's even better. You can pass the product along to judges and the audience. That is awesome too. If it is possible, by all means do it and use your team members to pass the product along. You must talk about competition, but do not criticize the competitors. You should talk about the competition only to project that you have done your homework. You understand what the competitive landscape looks like. What you need to do is to show how your product differs from the competition. And it doesn't need to be better on all features. There has to be something that is distinguishing about your product. It could be better pricing, it could be a better use, it could be time saving, whatever it is, focus on how your product is different. If you're pitching to the investors, they want to know if your product will make money. Now, if you already have customers, let people know. If you're already generating revenues, let your audience know. But even if you don't have revenues or customers, you should have a plan. You should state clearly when it is that you're likely to get your first 100 customers, first 1,000 customers. When will you start generating revenues? And very importantly, when will you break even? When will you start having positive cash flow? Revenues are not profits, and investors want to know ultimately when is it that you will start making money. After showing break even, investors want to know traction. How will the company grow? Now here, don't be outlandish. You don't have to go to the extreme and say you're going to conquer the world. You need to show realistic growth scenarios. And what is important in showing growth scenarios is what kind of scope this product provides. What else can this product do? What other geography can this product be sold in? What are the other use cases of this product? That's where the growth comes in. The numbers are less important. And even if you put outlandish numbers over there, nobody is going to believe you. So show growth as a strategic option. It is often important to know who you are pitching to. Is it the investors? Is it the customers? Or the early adopting companies that you want? Because you should have a specific ask. It could be about money. It could be about adoption. What it is that you want should be clear in your pitch. And you may need to make more than one pitches so that you can address the different audience at different times. When it comes to raising money, funds, you should be clear how much money are you trying to raise. Secondly, what will that money be used for? Will it be used to buy equipment, buy capital, or pay salaries? It is very important to know this, and there should be clear milestone and timelines for it. Don't ask for unrealistic amount of money. You can always say that this is what you're trying to raise in this round, but when you reach the next milestone, that's when you will like to raise the next round. If you've already put in your own money, or your friend's money, or your family's money, often called bootstrapping, let the investors know how much. In fact, that is important for investors to know. Because if you put in your own money, investors are more confident that your skin is in the game. You will hear this often, that investor fund teams, not ideas. So, a good time to introduce your team members. If you are a sole founder, it's a bad idea. Very few sole founded companies get funded. Investors want to know, are there enough team members to take care of different aspects of the business? The CEO, is there a marketing person? Is there an operations person? So a diverse set of team, each one of them bringing a different capability, is very important. When you're finishing your pitch, you should come back and make a very short closing argument, just like lawyers do. When they make a closing argument, they reach out to the jury, they reach out to the judge, make an eye contact, and tell an emotional story. And finish your pitch with simple, thank you for your time, thank you for your attention. Don't thank everybody in the world. This is not your Oscar-winning speech. Make it short and simple and smile. And then questions are very important. Investors would have clarifying questions, sometimes deep questions. Answer the question directly and as honestly as possible. Do not be defensive. Don't make things up. If you do not know the answer, say that I need to do some work, I need to do some research before I can answer this question satisfactorily. You can reach out to your team members and ask them if they can answer the question better. When you're making a pitch, there should be only one person who's making the pitch. The one who is the best at making the pitch. The team members should be there, but they should be there only to answer questions. Do not have several people making the pitch. That is very distracting. Sometimes if there is a question that you don't know the answer to, you can use it to your advantage. You can turn it around and ask the person who asked you that question, the judge or an audience member, and say, what do you think? What are your insights? And in fact, you can use it to make a connection. You can ask your team members to go and meet that person, take their contact information, and reach out to them after your pitch is over. And remember, you only have limited time, and there can be many questions. Instead of making your pitch contain everything, on every slide, you can create a link that has more information, more relevant information. Do not click it unless asked a question. But if somebody asks you a question and you have more data, charts, or something to show, you can go and click on that. I will show you, for example, on this slide, I have created something called references. You might say, Professor Bhagwan Chowdhry, we don't know much about you. Can you tell me something more? So I can go to this link and click on it. And lo and behold, you're going to see that information about that is going to show up. And you can do it for every slide that is out there. There should be a few links there that give more information but answer them only if the questions come up. Thank you all for your attention.